try to be nonchalant, even though it's obvious. I can never help wanting more. Oh, slip into the dark and then we end up in each other's arms. There's no looking back, I gotta find a way to where you are.
Make me your shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I'll follow you. Only feel right when I got you close. Without you, I'm hollow. Wherever you are is where I come home. Make me your shadow. Your shadow. Shadow, make me a shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I will follow you. We can never tear us apart. I'll follow you into the dark. The dark. No, they can never tear us apart. I'll follow you into the dark. The dark. Play me like it's truth or dare. The way you're pulling me closer makes me wanna bear it all for you. Ooh, why don't you show me how much you care? Be the devil on my shoulder, 'cause I don't think we got a lot to lose. Ooh, make me your shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I'll follow you. Only feel right when I got you close. Without you, I'm hollow. Wherever you are is where I come home. Make me your shadow. Your shadow. Shadow, make me a shadow. Wanna be with you wherever you go. You know I will follow you. They can never tear us apart. I'll follow you into the dark. The dark. No, they can never tear us apart. I'll follow you into the dark. The dark.
You lift me off of the ground. I close my eyes and I wait for the come down. I used to live in the now. Now I'm wiser to think that we are bulletproof. Teens with thicker skin, now we just bruise. We were hopeless and we're hopeless now. But I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care. And I remember, yeah, I remember. Now, but I remember we threw our fists in the air singing. I remember when we were kids, never scared, yeah. And the sky went dark, we used our hearts to guide us. You showed me you care. And I remember, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, can you save me? Please come and chase me. 'Cause I ran from everything I know. Even though I gave all of my love to you, try so hard to keep this flame that grew between us, but my own past won't let me move. Under the pressure of the light, forcing myself to change so I don't hide from myself. Even when broken, I will fight, searching for that place where we belong. We collide together. Please come and chase me. everything I know. Even though I gave all of my love to you, try so hard to keep this flame that grew between us, but my own past won't let me move. Under the pressure of the light, forcing myself to change so I don't hide from myself. Even when I get my own fight, searching for that place where we collide together.
All I hear is talking. You don't speak no truth. Ain't no word that's getting through. Try to start a fire like you always do. So I ain't got no love for you. When you say, yeah, 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 yeah. You think you know me, but yeah, 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 yeah. You think you know me, but you don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. Yeah, yeah. The whirlwind spins and loses control. Yeah, yeah. You took me for a ride and a roll. Yeah, yeah. You just thought you know me the most. Yeah, yeah. But you don't know me better than me. Two sides to the story. Flip a coin and play your luck. Take a risk, but you might bust. You still went ahead and broke that trust. You don't know anything about me. Why you tryna play the game for free? Putting nightmares in my dreams, acting like you got the key. Wait, bound and lost, you never knew enough. I can see your ways and called your bluff. No control, I guess you lost the cause. The battle for the truth, I see the cards. Racing for the facts, you see the doors. Lies all through the smoke, don't take a pause. Say that you did, but you never knew me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. Yeah, yeah. The whirlwind spins and loses control. Yeah, yeah. You took me for a ride and a roll. Yeah, yeah. You just thought you know me the most. Yeah, yeah. But you don't know me better than me.
Play yourself, don't play me. Mars, Wolf, Vic Star, Jamie. Don't be confused, that's my G. Turn it up too, it's setting them free. Gas like who? Gas like me. Everybody push up your flashlights, please. You thought you knew, but wait and see. You don't know me.
You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. Yeah, 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 yeah. You think you know me, but yeah, 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 yeah. You think you know me, but you don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me. You don't know me better. You don't know me better than me.
We are lost in faded lovers when we're under feelings that never bloom. We count our cards as they fall. Oh, they almost really made me wonder, will my heart escape the rain and the under dark skies where the starlight bright is to paradise. Your love is all I need. Oh, they almost really made me wonder, will my heart escape the rain and thunder? Then you found me in a deep blue hour. I'm never looking back. Falling for you, suddenly it shakes what I knew. You're breaking through, brings me to life. This is what it feels like. This is what love, this is what love. This is what love, this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Mm. Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone, I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more MCS action. It's been what, a couple weeks, something like that. I don't know. It's been a little bit since we've been playing. So yeah, yeah. It's been a little bit of a break. Soms we haven't had a stream in a couple weeks. It's been a busy couple of weeks for sure. So we're doing our best to get on the air as much as we possibly can. But yeah, it's a premiere week. It's a premiere every week, except for what?
Most importantly, we're back.
For most of the time,
we're
yeah.
ready. I'm so excited.
We are indeed. I'm excited too. Last week of the season, week number 8, and we've got some matches to cover, to walk you through. The first one being the Green Bay Knights and the Omaha Buffalo, as 13 seed versus 5 seed. Winnipeg, the 16 seed, taking on the number 9 Minneapolis Miracles, and then the number 4 St. Cloud Flyers taking on the Duluth Superiors, and number 1 Duluth Superiors. those 3 matches we'll have for you. The last one I'm playing in, so kind of hard to stream it when I'm playing it. But regardless, we'll have a good we'll have a
very good showing.
Definitely, but
yeah,
for sure.
Lots of big. This is the last game of the season. Lots of teams got to prove themselves right here before we make our way into the major. Duluth trying to hold on to that 1 seed. We could see it if they potentially lose that series. We could see it slip. Yeah, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 teams that could steal that 1st seed from them. No team is safe though.
And speaking of that, 8th week of the season, so we're pretty much at the end. This and then that final major tournament are all that is left, all that is remaining for us to play. But once we get through that week number 8 SOMs and into that major number 2, the days counting on from that land tournament will be short. they'll be pretty darn quick. We won't have too much separating us in between that. But speaking of that major number 2, points for that major 2, you get 61 points for first place, which is a lot. I mean, it's Swiss into single elim. Yeah. It's Swiss the first weekend, single elimination the next. I mean, that's 12 series total. It's 5 points for a series. 12 times 5 is 60. Yep. I mean, you're getting 61 points. That's insane. So
we could potentially see some teams double their points.
Pretty much. In
2 weekends.
Yeah. And taking a look at these standings, it's important for us to understand that some of these teams at the bottom need these points very very much so. Yeah. Obviously Duluth sitting on top with 65. I mean, they have more points than what is allowed for for major number 1 or major 2 for that first place. But looking at those records, I mean, for the most part, the teams that are on the top have the records. But the reason why Omaha is there is because of that major number 1. And then teams like, Des Moines slowly making their way up. Winnipeg just got a full three stack to put together and are now, I mean, they're 2-0 together. So, or 1-2 or 2-1, I think, something like that.
2-1,
but
not bad.
Might be 1-1 actually, but regardless, they have a team now. So, you have an option. You have an option of getting points. Obviously, if you're at the bottom, you're banking. Obviously, you have to win the whole thing, Zoms, but you're banking on the teams that are ahead of you to do not as well. But for a team like Green Bay, you pretty much need to win the whole thing to have a good opportunity of getting into that 8th seed. Because 8 and up, you're through to the tournament. But there's only 1 match this week, so that does help the lower teams because a team's not going to pick up 10 points; they're only going to pick up 5 at most. But look for teams like Bloomington, Fargo, and Bemidji to close the gap if they get a win today on a St. Cloud or an Omaha. Omaha, if they lose in this first series, could go from 5th place all the way down to 8th. They can't drop below that, but it's a big jump for them because it changes your matchup. Major 2, your first Swiss round is based on your seeding after this week. So 1 will play 16, 2 will play 15, and 3 will play 14. So you're gonna want to get as many points as you can. But yeah, first match Green Bay and Omaha, trying to stall to give them as much time as I think they're getting a player. He was saying they're gonna have to get a sub. Green Bay did have to get a kind of a last minute sub, but I'm going to get info out to them.
But it's unfortunate that you got to have a last second sub, but it happens.
Yeah, and got to fill in where you can. Obviously, an RLCS weekend, the first weekend of it. So a lot of people obviously focused on that, and rightfully so. But that also does not start until 6 p.m. So, you know, you got a little bit of time. But EU RLCS is currently, or was currently, going on. So if you're looking to watch some high level Rocket League, that is where you probably want to go. But yeah, our first series, Green Bay and Omaha, and we're gonna put in our prediction. I'm excited to see what we get here out of these two teams. You and I are going to have to decide between who's gonna win. I personally, I played this Omaha team. They went 1-1 last week, and their loss was to me.
Ooh.
I did also. They played with a sub. They did not have their full roster. Now that can make a huge difference. It does, but it doesn't sway my pick. I'm gonna take the Omaha Buffalo still. I don't feel like Green Bay is going to win this series. It's not that I don't have any faith. It's just that I don't have any faith.
And Omaha are playing with their full roster this week, I presume.
Yes, indeed.
And this time it's Green Bay with the sub. Oh man, you know, if I knew who the sub was, I'd be more confident in betting on them. But I guess I'll just go the easy route here. I'll predict who here, Stewie. Do you want to predict games? What do you think it's going the distance? Do you think it's going to be a close series?
It's a 3-0 to Omaha.
3-0.
Yeah, it's not going to be a 3. It's not going to be 3-1.
Hey, I'll give them 1. I'll say 3-1. I'll give them 1.
I don't know. I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't give them 1.
It's Rocket League. Anything could happen. A series could just start going terribly. It could be a rough start, and maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You know, started the monitor or started the series with their monitor off. You never know. 1 game, I'll give them 1.
I'm not gonna give them 1 even. I'm gonna give them a 3-0 sweep. First match of the week, and of course my game is black. There it goes. We have it. First game of week number 8, and the mystery sub is Pillow from Green Bay, I believe. Is that from their challenger team, Zoms?
It is from their challenger team.
That is from their challenger team.
It was the second round pick of the challenger team. Kai already starting off this one hot, and I like making my prediction. Even though I only give him 1, might be looking silly already.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what we get out of this Green Bay team with the substitute player. Pillow obviously playing on land last season for Omaha, subbing up for Premier because Omaha had their whole debacle with their Premier team, so had to put a roster together kind of last minute. But regardless, we'll see what we get out of these teams. As opening goal for Omaha. Under 30 seconds in, Green Bay has to get going, but Green Bay has had a season of ups and downs. Obviously, this is not the team that started drafting or drafted wise. We have completely strayed away from that. We're into the pretty much full rebuild of a team. So they found, 3 friends, I believe, that Nick was able to put together and put on a team, and was able to get a team put together, but Notice has had a good season with this Omaha team. They're top 8 for a reason, Zoms, and opening goes to them for 2 goals.
Yeah, quick start. 2 goals in the first minute, not looking good for the fellow Green Bay Knights, but lots of series left. Throwing into the corner here, Notes trying to get something started. Likewise, just sniping it into the top right corner again, and right as I speak, it's 3 goals. This might get ugly.
And yeah, I'm a little wary of this Green Bay team to start. Obviously, down 3-0 is not what you want to start off with, but no, maybe they can make a comeback here. You got somebody like Mom on your team who can make plays happen. Same with Nick. We've seen what they can do defensive wise. Pillow has played at this level before, but you're playing against a Buffalo team that I mean, they formed together to do better than the old Buffalo roster. They formed to be the upgrade. A move they made that got Kai from Rochester. I was so confused why Rochester was making a move. I felt like they had the best season out of anybody, the most consistent besides Duluth. And why Rochester decided to make a move, we'll never know. But I feel like obviously Kai and Notice always end up on a team together, want to play with each other, want to get, to that tournament and play, on that stage with each other. But at the same time, man, this Buffalo team they look red hot to start. That's a great infield pass to Likewise.
Yeah, I'm just right now hoping that Green Bay is a little cold. It sounded like they called up Pillow last second, so he might have just hopped on the game.
He's ice cold, Zoms. His hands are still frozen.
Yeah, he just hopped out of bed. I mean, it's a Rocket League player. Come on, you got to give him a chance to warm up. But 4 goals. This is just getting a little out of hand. But I mean, you're not out of it yet. Might as well use the rest of this game 1 to get into the groove of things. Here we go. We're trying to get some offense. That might have been our first chance all game. But Notice trying to set up the heat. Pillow is left in a 1v3 for a moment. Does great just to stall for as long as humanly possible. It's down into the middle again. Nick just gets a 50. Notice is just going to chase after that and try throwing it mid for a teammate. Kai is going to be there, but it is shut down quickly. And this is just all the pressure. And the Green Bay does not seem comfortable right now. And, I mean, they do manage to get another save here. It's going off the backboard. Notice looking for the double. It's just off the post. Mom has to clear it out, getting a bit of a dribble, but it's going to fall short. Kai once again just shutting it down, and they can't leave the orange half.
I mean, they really just a lockdown in the midfield right now for this Buffalo team. Stealing all those midfield boosts, sitting on the pads, trying to get every last drop out of that midfield boost, and you just don't allow Green Bay to even break out of their half. Nick's starving for any boost. He can't really find anything. Can't find any corner boost, no pads. There's nothing available for him to grab. You're working with sub 20 boost every time you try and get out of your half. Another infield pass, kind of Likewise, and Green Bay has that one red, but you look at the top right, there's one player with 70 boost. Nick finally gets 100, but I mean, the boost number is just low for a lot longer than I think Green Bay wants here. But Likewise was the guy they were missing last week. Didn't have him when they played us. And I can already tell he's an integral part of this team because the impact that he has had, he has 8 shots by himself, Zoms.
Yeah. I mean, that's so many more than the entirety of the orange team combined. The Green Bay. I mean, the offense from this entire team has just been outstanding. And like you said, Likewise has been a key part to this puzzle. And it just seems like they can barely get out of their half. I mean, notice once again, they finally get over the line, but it's a pre-jumping Kai. Kai passes the mid for Likewise. Likewise back to Kai off the backboard. Once more off the backboard. Notice finishes off 5 goals. They can't be stopped. I mean, it's just constant backboard, and eventually, they've been starving them so much that they just can't reach it.
5-0. Yeah, no, they've just gotten them to a point where they're constantly double jumping. You're jumping up to try and get any touch on the ball. You don't have any boost to even do that. Notice on the turnaround in midfield does not get enough on it. And another touch that is shut down again by Likewise. All over the field in this first game. As 20 seconds still on the board. It's going to be killed off by this Omaha team who have a great game 1 win. Showing why they're a top 8 contending team. As maybe you get one, you don't even get one. The double demo comes in. Mom's touch does not get there in time. And as a result, this game will come to an end. As bar down, it'll go in at 0 seconds. Mom's going to get one for a good old time's sake. He'll cut midfield, get the shot. And we'll get one. But Green Bay, man, they needed that, Zoms.
That was insane. That might have been the first time I've seen a player have more shots than they do ping. That was insane. Okay, his ping went back up. Oh, there it is. He has 8 ping and 9 shots. I mean, Likewise.
I want to go where he's at.
Yeah, a machine gun on the back bar into the goal. It just an absolute onslaught this game. I mean, they had absolutely no chance this game. But, it did seem like, I don't want to say they stopped the bleeding because they got so many goals in the first half. But that last half, I mean, if you just look at the last half, I mean, they went 2-1. It's not terrible. Not terrible, not great. You're still losing, but they seem to stop the bleeding a little bit. They got themselves a goal. Maybe they can turn this into some momentum. I will say it's going to be hard to stop Omaha right now. But listen, I'm saying they're at least warming up.
Yeah. I mean, they are at least warming up. I mean, 5th goal, just no boost to work with. Nothing to do, as 5-1 the final score. Green Bay does get the last one at 0 seconds. Now, Mom kind of keeps up, the only goal that he needed. You need more than one, obviously, but Mom was able to get one on the board. Maybe he's able to get more, and Green Bay is able to figure out their defensive half here, it sounds. But it'll be interesting to see what we get out of them coming into this, game number 2. Swing game for a reason as we load on in. Should be a good one. I'm thinking Green Bay is going to get more than one goal here. Right off the kickoff, they have a chance, but there's a demo. Kai has the touch to notice, but Nick, fortunate spawn, will get that one away.
Yeah, thankfully he spawned right on top of the ball. That could have been deadly, but Nick trying to get it out of his half. But Kai just goes. He has no mercy. He just will send himself on top of the ball. And, I mean, he's been diving on top of it like every single time so successfully. There might be a chance here, but easily deflected away. Kai trying to find a counterattack, but it almost comes launching towards their net. Luckily, likewise, is on the backboard ready for that. Kai trying to guide this ball out. Not much boost, though. And Pillow pre-jumping. I know. A little bit lost. It's going to fly high, but Nick should be able to clear this one away. It's going to be in their corner. Likewise, aggressing early. No boost to work with, but he doesn't care. He's going to send it across the box just barely over the top. Notice could not quite get to that one. It is going to send it back for Likewise to try it again. Nick shuts this one down quick. A pre-jump. And Kai just having to opt to bring this one back. And maybe a chance in the midfield. No one there to clean that one up, but already looking a lot more stable this game. At this point in the last game, I think there was 3 goals scored, and they've made it through the first minute and some without getting scored on.
Ooh, Likewise try to pick the corner. He's had a really good series so far. Has had a good kind of debut season. I think he played last season, but he didn't. Was not in Premier, and makes his way up into Premier this season, and is having a good season so far with this Omaha team. As Pillow will make that save. Likewise, can't really get much on the board there. Notice gonna sky that one to the backboard. Nick waiting on it, gets the read around both Kai and Notice. 2-on-1. Pillow gets the outlet. Mom open net. That's what you want to see. Green Bay Knights. The 1-2-3 counterattack is complete. And that is a great shot from Mom on the open net. That goal, Zoms, I tell you what, when you get an open net like that, that goal just gets tiny, just small. It's like a little window, like an airplane window. That's right off the kickoff. Notice ties the game.
We saw the Green Bay Knights have their first lead for a whopping 5 seconds, and it has to go away. The kickoff, they were just so fast. I think it was a fast shoot right down the middle. He just got the ball immediately on net, and if you're going to be fast shooting and turning up field, it's extreme risk if you don't get the ball. And, that shows. It's just in your net. Nothing you could really do about it. They're going to have to regain. Mom is up for this one. It's off the sidewall here. Kai's going to get a free ball. Just throws it up to Pillow, who's trying to center it for a teammate. Mom does get a decent touch, but Likewise is able to use the rest of his boost to get a decent touch. It's to the backboard. Can Mom double this? Notice is up so quickly to shut that down. But it is still dangerous, though. Nick sends it mid. Kai, first one to just dissolve all the pressure. It is given back to Pillow, who gets a nice touch around one, but Kai, so quick up, is just shuts it down immediately. Nick maybe with a bit of a nervous touch here. There's not really a purpose to some of these touches I'm seeing. They're just kind of passing or hitting the ball out because just to hit it, and it's kind of leading its way to the opponent's hood. And I mean, there comes more pressure. I mean, Mom's left all alone, and defense does a great job. Nick does spawn again. Once again, he's been getting a lot of good spawns this game, and does find himself with a 100 boost, almost free jumping off the sidewall, but does not quite find contact. Trying to get an attack here. It does. I think that might have been a Notice going missing off the backboard, which left a completely open net for the super sub Pillow.
As Notice misses that touch, Pillow just reads ball, and able to drop the nuke in, and 2-1 advantage now for Green Bay. This is looking like a way better game for them, as Pillow, right off that shot, off that kickoff next, is able to try and steal the corner boost. But notice, though, Stallworth on his back line trying to get back into, that land that last season it felt like his Burnsville team should have, done better than they actually did. Laugh that one off. Mom has his second, as he's able to get around one, get the shot, and he just beats Likewise to the, to the punch, to the touch behind him, puts it behind him, and Likewise doesn't make contact. And all of them are laughing after that one, because I don't think Likewise should have missed that. But regardless, 1:55 to go. A lot of time for this Omaha team to get back in. I mean, they put up 5 in the last game, Zoms. Only 1 so far. Can they get on the board once more?
I mean, you'd have to say so, but Mom, I can't believe it. I think he had to bump his way through a player. Even then, he had to pre-flip and somehow was able to clear the ball in a hopeless situation. I mean, Kai looking for an insane psycho. Just managed to get a decent touch that he follow up on. It's still very awkward. Nick is just going to get the ball right off a notice. Mom trying to find a sidewall here, but does get shut down. Kai to collect. It does a high-flying ball, but a crucial tackle from Pillow. Yeah, absolutely. See you later. Maybe next week. But, I mean, this might be a chance here. It's a soft shot. I mean, I feel like in the previous game, they were finding each other in the midfield so often, and this game, it's been lacking. Yeah,
I know. I agree. Here's another one. Likewise, upper 90. Throws the hammer down. That's the infield pass you were looking for. Kai to Likewise. That's been the key so far for them scoring. Notice has been there when he needs to be, but, man, that is just unsavable at that pace. It's coming in so hot. You have to jump before the ball is even hit. And as a result, it's in your net. Notice does miss that catch. 1 minute to go now. Green Bay need to hold on here and get this game win as Nick gets that win. Notice does make contact on that touch. Pillow going to play to the side, but no boost to really follow up with here. And both of his teammates do have plenty of boost to work with, but he has nothing, and a lot of boost for Omaha. Full tanks pretty much for everybody as they have to set up this midfield hold, Zoms, and get this last tying goal on the board. Kai pre-jumps off the backboard. Likewise is there, and double commit from Green Bay to keep it out, but I feel like Notice should have taken that shot, not Likewise, as Notice had a much cleaner run and probably would have gotten a lot more on it. Mom to Nick, trying to drive up a double is 15 seconds to go, and Green Bay just has to hang on to that midfield line and not overcommit their touch.
Like you said, only 10 seconds here. They got to hurry it up. Mom does a really rush touch, leaving Nick in a terrible situation. Does get the save. Pillow clearing it. Likewise is being patient in the midfield, trying to find a teammate. Mom is up quickly. Both go missing. It's down. And that's the first game. I mean, I did predict one game that they would get, and somehow they managed to squeak it out. It looked like after the first game, it was completely hopeless, but the Green Bay Knights managed to find one, and it's early in the series, too. It's 1-1 still. This is actually so winnable.
Yeah, no, that's a tied series now, 1-1. That really keeps Green Bay in it and still knocking at the door. But we got to get into game number 3 as quick as we possibly can, because just got to get going as we're a little bit behind. But yeah, I mean, shout out Green Bay to get that one done. They put up 3 goals on the board. It's enough to hang on. They get to 3-2, and looking at this next game, tied up at 1 apiece right now. This is a good game, a good series so far. It's a lot closer than I thought it would be, really. I didn't give Green Bay enough credit. Even with the sub, they're still making it work. And Pillow was the difference in that game. Had the lone goal besides Mom's double. But we'll see what ends up happening here for Green Bay. Can they get going right off the kickoff? A bump, though, from Kai will put an end to whatever Green Bay was planning there.
Yeah, I just can't believe that. What an excellent played game from Green Bay. And Kai going missing early on. That one's got to sting, but I mean, it's just a loose ball now, and Kai should be able to collect this one. Just pops it into the corner. Bit of a heavy touch, though. Kai does get one more, finding Likewise in the center. Hoff to read that one. Mob is going to try his best to dissolve the pressure here. Does get a decent 50. Notice has to waste almost every little bit of boost he had just to get back to the ground. Kai is setting it network. Net should be back for this one. Does collect into the corner. No one's really there. He's giving him lots of space. Just pinches it out. Should be on Mom's hood. Does get it past one. Likewise, the pre-jump is going missing. Kai left all alone in the backfield. Just managed to get a really clean catch just to immediately shut down the attack. And now his teammates are back. No boost on the side of Omaha, though. They have to be careful here. Mom trying to find an infield pass. 2 go missing. The last one gets a decent touch. Nick goes diving his last, and it's a scramble right now in the midfield, trying to catch the other team lacking, and that's a big bump. Maybe Notice has a chance here. Does put it in a safe place. Mom able to just put it away. Mom, another heavy touch out. And, I mean, there have been lots of back and forth attack, but not much boost to go around.
Yeah. As you know, this game is becoming closer. This series is becoming closer and closer as infield pass across again to Kai. They're trying to line up that passing play that has worked so far. Kai to Notice. They find the backboard touch. Likewise is there, but shut down again by Mom. And again, this Green Bay team just will not let them through. Play after play after play from Omaha. They just can't break through that line. They hit the backboard there. As that pinch 50 is going to bite Likewise in the butt, I thought, but he's able to delete Pillow off the play. Backboard is open, but Kai is beat by Nick again. And defense for the Knights as Nick pops to himself, but loses connection on the touch. Notice as Likewise go with him. Pillow has a good touch here, finds Nick on the outlet into that corner. Where's Mom? He's not there for the shot. He's sitting back and waiting and doesn't want to overcommit and give Omaha a free one. And that's Green Bay. That's the adjustment they've made so far, Zoms, is they're not giving Green Bay the free goals that they were getting, in that first game on just simple mistakes that, the Knights were making. Now if you're going to score, you got to earn it.
Right. And I'm also seeing them shut down the midfield pressure a lot. They're, in the first game, they're just passing midfield. And every time they did it, it was in the back of the net. In this game, a lot of that been shut down. Finally, 3 minutes into this game, Kai does find the back of the net. I think I missed what happened here in the corner. Nick dove, and Pillow was up way too far. Kai just dusts him and finds the back of the net. That is the first goal. Still lots of time left in this one, but, that's got to sting. It might be a golden goal game, and, right now, Green Bay, this is looking a lot like the first game. Green Bay only have 1 shot to their name so far. It doesn't really feel like that, but, I mean, you got to put on more chances, If all your chances are being shut down before it even gets to the goal, maybe Mom with one more chance here. It's just a really light shot. Nick tried making something of nothing. Pillow left alone with no boost. It's going to be really tough to defend. Mom barely scraps back. Notice does have to settle for 1 touch off the sidewall here. Kai collects, has full boost here, finding the midfield pass. Pillow shuts it down this time. Serious looking for a redirect. Notice just barely able to get there. And that would have been the equalizer. Nick, a slow rolling ball. Bomb for the dunk. Slams it in. Slam dunk posterized.
As Likewise misses contact on the ball, Kai has to kind of pick up the scraps, and Mom realizes that, just jumps at his face and throws down pretty much an alley-oop right over his head top. As 140 still left to go, but that is a big goal for Green Bay to get going here. Pillow, what does he have? A touch off the sidewall. Can't really get much here. As Notice will collect for himself. Gets by a couple defenders, but Mom into that corner uses it. Well, Kai misses the shot, and the backboard shot woes continue for Omaha. As how many times Zoms have they literally had a free shot and cannot find it?
It's had to have been at least 3 or 4 times now. I feel like they're just... they had a little bit of time there, and they rushed the shot, and they hit the post. If you just waited, even just a quarter second longer, Bill might have a chance here to break the ice! It also goes just missing! It feels like there's been so many chances just to hit the post. And now we're looking at it from the other side. And, this has just been back and forth. This is actually way closer than anyone could have imagined. Kai looking for a side ball. Does get the touch. A little bit awkward. Notice is going to be the first one to this one. Pillow trying to just get a piece of it. What good piece he got as well. Mom trying to get a big 50 here. It's going to roll up. Nick misses the boost. Just barely has to settle for an infield touch to Mom. Mom has been the standout player to me so far on this Green Bay team. He's the one scoring... I think he might have scored almost every single goal except for that one from Pillow in game 2, I believe. And it's just been the Mom show.
He's he's holding down the fort, not panicking on the back line, making the plays that he needs to keep his team in the game. Nick gonna leave that one for him. Mom has the clear. Likewise, can't really get much on that. 3 seconds to go. It's gonna go midfield. Pillow though will beat that player from Omaha to the ball. Overtime in game 3. This is a huge overtime. Omaha need to win this to establish some sort of, control over this series, because it feels like Green Bay are the Revengers kind of breaking out, whatever they want. That one goes posting out. Nick had to make the read and does. Infield notice to likewise back to notice, but they can't get the shot to go through. Kai hits the backboard again, does not make contact on that shot. Kai again into that corner, trying to press whatever advantage Omaha can muster here. Notice will catch, looking infield, finds likewise top right, and they just can't find a crossbar bounce to save their lives as that one won't go in, and Green Bay on the counterattack.
The machine gun is starting to fire off again. They just keep going, shot after shot after shot, even if they aren't going in. Eventually, one of these have to. Another shot comes in, another save from Mom. It's so many shots coming in. The pressure is overwhelming. The difference this game is that the Green Bay have boost. They're able to do something. Not this time, though. The middle boost is there, and Mom just secured. It's going to be a midfield pass again.
Finally.
Kai doesn't miss this time. The Gatling gun unleashes, and they finally have one go home. So many shots.
Defense for Green Bay hung on as long as they possibly could, able to tie up the game, but as a result, you can only hold on for so long as this Green Bay team almost able to pull that game out of the depths of hell as Omaha clutch up, able to get that game win, and that was a lot harder than I think they were wanting it to be. It felt like they just kept beating their head against the wall, and eventually the wall broke, and they're like, "Yes, we did it. We got it." It's like, guys, you could have just broke the wall down with a sledgehammer like you just did at the end of this game.
Could have just walked around it.
Exactly.
There was an open door right there.
Exactly my point. As we'll hop back over to us, and 2-1 up right now. Omaha trying to end this series off with a win would be a big one for them. But what was that? 8 shots from Kai in that last game. It was 17 total shots for Omaha. They scored, what, twice? Not a good look.
Yeah.
You're shooting about 8% there, friends. Not quite.
They're firing without looking, and eventually they'll hit the target. I mean, we've seen that now. Eventually they do hit the target, but man, they didn't have to unload the entire clip. It was just shot after shot after shot. I mean, the good thing is that they're maintaining pressure extremely well. The bad thing is that if they don't find their mark enough, they're going to get counterattacked, and Mom is trying to start off the game high. Spicy double off the corner. Notice does have a great read on that. Nick does go missing, leaving likewise with maybe a chance here. As actually beat up by Pillow. Pillow with no boost is aggressing in the corner. Notice able to just carry this one out maybe to a teammate. This is a bouncing ball. Free ball for likewise. He's going to gladly take a 50 here. Mom does well, though. Both players go missing and sit to the corner. Maybe a bit of a chance here. Mom could not quite find the shot here. Kai just going to pass it up into the midfield. Pillow. Big 50, and we're actually seeing a lot more back and forth this game. Not just insurmountable pressure, but I feel like once the Omaha do find that pressure, it's going to be hard for them to break out. I mean, every single time we've seen them with an extended pressure play, it seems like they find that goal. This time, likewise, does it himself. No extended pressure play needed. The first shot find its mark.
And Kai was running interference, bumped Pillow out of the way. Mom does not get the touch he wants on it, and not able to make that clear. And as a result, Omaha now up by 1, trying to put this one to bed. And Green Bay really they had their fun, but Omaha kind of slapped them back into submission and said, all right, you're doing whatever you want, but we're not going to allow it anymore. Your judgment day has come. as 350 still left to go. A lot of time, 340 now, as Green Bay have to find one before they find that second. And no boost to really anybody's name besides Mom. He's upfield to read that touch. Gets the 50 win over Kai, and I have no idea. Kai's reaction is the same as mine. How in the world does this find its way in?
Just more weight. He just lifts more. He just absolutely smashes that ball in through the 50. He does not care that there's a player there. He shoots it on net. Who cares that you're there, Kai? It's in your net. Mom simply is stronger. And that's the equalizer that they needed. Mom, once again, showing what they have been the standout player for me this series. I mean, I feel like every time they have the ball, they are eventually on offense. They've had the defense, they've had the offense, they've had the passes. Mom has been all over the board for me, and even here once again on defense, it's not the best touch in the world. Does manage to have a pass out to Nick, back to Mom. It's going to be in the corner. Awkward touch. Kai gets a really, honestly, it wasn't an awkward double, but it was really safe position for Notice. Likewise, trying to dribble this out. Pillow dives on it. Kai does manage the position well enough to get that touch. It's an awkward bounce. Nick has low boost. Steps out to go off the backboard to get a decent touch out, but Notice easily able to handle that. It's just into the corner, though. Bit of a missed touch. Mom just jumping and floating. Nick has to get a hand up here. Does well. Pillow takes a shot from the midfield. Notice is going to have no sweat, no problem clearing this one out to Kai. And, half the game remaining. And that's a big demo, but nothing to fear. And this game is really slowing down.
And Zoms, as, Zoms overall, this game has been one where it just feels like Omaha, they get a lead and Green Bay finds some sort of goal that just feels like it should never go in. They're running interference on Notice. Notice, though, able to scramble back, make the save, and gets the outlet touch from Kai to him. As that one's going to go off the backboard. Pillow has to make this read, cannot get it. Likewise, his shot is wide. And a double commit it ends up being for Omaha as frustration starting to build for them. That one off the crossbar. Kai's follow-up is not on target. And yeah, expect Green Bay to sit behind this ball. They are able to get it away, but once again, stuck in their half, and the most amount of boost a player has is 38.
It just seems like they're trapped. They're in a bear trap. You got to get it off. It's a high-flying ball again. This is the pressure that we've been seeing all game from Omaha. They can't leave their half. They aren't getting scored on. Maybe this is a chance. Mistouch and misplay from Notice. Mom off the backboard. Nick maybe has a chance to outplay. It's going off the backboard pretty slowly here. It's a decently safe ball. Pillow, the last one back. Does manage to get a touch flow enough for Mom to get back. Kai running interference, looking for that demo. An infield pass that we've all too familiar with seeing, and it's the back of the net. Likewise, we'll put this one home, but it was really a three-team player effort here. Notice with the perfect pass, likewise with the shot, and Kai running that interference. Nothing the last defender could do there, and that is the goal that they've been looking for the past 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, you're doing the best you possibly can do. To hold down that line is, they are able to get a demo. Omaha is that's a clear down the field. It hits the bar, does not go in, and Omaha's crossbar woes just continue. No. Yeah, Nick knows that one's going in. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, they all know it. That's so unfortunate because Nick spawns there, drives up field, and then the ball just hits him as there's nothing he can do about that.
Yeah, that's just got to sting, though, for the confidence. And you felt like you were only one goal away, and now two can sometimes feel like an impossible hill to climb, especially when you've been the team needing to counterattack, not sustaining almost any pressure at all. You're getting one-off chances, and now, once again, the pressure is building back up. They do have a bit of a scramble, but they just don't care at this point. You got a 2-goal lead. They're fine with just keeping pressure and playing hot potato with the ball with each other. They just, notice high flies this one. Kai full boost, gets a reset. Why not a second? And it's in the net. 3 goals. GG's.
Yeah, 15 seconds to go. You need a goal every 5 seconds. Green Bay gave it their best. Shout out Green Bay. They have not been, I don't know if they've been swept this season really at all. Have competed in every series they've been in. A team that, with a little bit of, more consistency could easily, bar none, have won a couple of more series this season if they, just got a couple more bounces. Were able to hold down the defensive half a little bit better, but shout out to them as they were able to get this one done. But Omaha able to win this one as it's definitely a series that I think Green Bay is going to want back. But regardless, Psalms, they give it their best shot, and they did a pretty darn good job.
Yeah, I don't think you could be disappointed in this result. You played with a sub. You had a shaky game 1. You figured it out, though. Last second substitution, like we said. Yeah, so they figured it out. And, we saw it game 2 they took. And in game 3 was extremely competitive. 1-goal game. It went the distance. That second game was extremely good. And this game as well, I would say. It was close until the end where they just had to kind of dive on everything. And I mean, it was like the last minute where they really started getting scored on, but that, you can't blame them for overcommitting when you're down.
Yeah.
They played excellent, especially with a sub. I mean, Pillow, congrats to you. I mean, that's the second round child player. That was basically an expected sweep, no questions asked, and they really put in a fight. And also, congrats to Buffalo, of course. They looked outstanding that series as well. Lots of midfield pressure. They're going to be dangerous in this upcoming major.
Yeah, no, definitely. This upcoming major will be one that we're going to be watching heavily, mainly for, the upsets that come, because it's a Swiss stage. It's like last season. It's Swiss stage into a single elimination tournament during that second week. So, we're going to be watching it heavily to see if any upsets show up, which personally, there are going to be some upsets. I know that for a fact. Teams are going to have subs. It's just the nature of how this league has become is sub city. Some teams just, don't have the same consistency where obviously, people have jobs, they have things to get to, not able to get to every series. And that's completely fine with me. But, Psalms, it was a great first series and, one that I was really, happy to cast with you. Always a blast, my friend. League has been great this season so far. Obviously not as many streams as we have liked, guys, but, overall, we'll hopefully pick it up in season 11 a little bit better, but we'll have an extended break after season 10 to get some time. But the winter season is always the toughest, just because it's right in the center of the school year. It's tough for a lot of people to be available for stuff. I mean, honestly, so many holidays around this winter season. You got Thanksgiving, Halloween, people are out for Christmas. People are basically gone from, December 23rd through January 4th. It's like, people aren't as available.
All the big holidays, man. All the big holidays. It's just, we've been working around it. We still putting up as many streams as we possibly can. And shout out Stewie. Shout out me. Yeah. No. Shout out you.
But only our first series of the day so far. Winnipeg and Minneapolis. Now, this is one, Zums, I want to get your thoughts on, because Winnipeg just put a team together. They are pretty good. I've seen them play. I'm excited to see what we get out of them. But they're going against a Minneapolis team that is not getting the results that I think they truly want. And I know that for a fact based on, they... I don't know.
I really like the Minneapolis team. Is
it Minneapolis? Hold on.
Oh. Could be mistaken.
I'm mistaken. It's Brainerd. I'm an idiot.
Oh, I love Brainerd even more. I'm on Brainerd.
It's you. It's your team.
I love Brainerd even more.
Brainerd.
Why are we making fun of Brainerd? I love Brainerd.
Hold on. I'll fix it during the break. I'll fix it during the break, but it's the victory.
Let me tell you a little about Brainerd here. All right, I won't drag it on too long. We have a break coming up, but I love Brainerd. I'm going to predict them to win 10 out of 10 times 3-0. No problem. Those are my boys. Bryant is the GOAT. He's got the GOATs alongside him as well. Come on now. You think Nate and Messiah are there for show?
They're there for funsies.
They're here to play.
They're there for funsies.
Oh,
they're 100% there for funsies, and they know it.
No, they're here to roll. Come on now.
Roll as in roll down the mountain?
No, like take everyone else out.
Yeah.
You might have got me there. All right, my bad. No, but hey, come on now. This is my franchise. I have to back them 100% of the way, and I actually do believe in them 100%. I mean, last week they went 2-0. Come on, they're on the up.
I can't argue with it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fixed right now. 1 second. There we go. That's a Brainerd victory. Brainerd is playing against Winnipeg, not Minneapolis. I apologize to Brock and all of the Minneapolis fans, but should be a blast. But Brainerd and Winnipeg. That'll be coming up after the break. It should be a good one, as this first series did not disappoint. Zoms, hopefully this next one doesn't disappoint, but we need a break as we're going to head into the next series in in just a bit. We'll have it for you coming up on this Premier Week 8 Saturday.
Welcome back, everybody. It's more MCS action. We got some more premiered games on the road here, and I'm joined here with Cole. This might get a little bit spicy for the predictions, but this is an extremely exciting match. If we could just go on over to the schedule real quick. Thank you. So we just watched Green Bay Knights versus Omaha, extremely close series, despite the scoreline. Green Bay playing with a sub, really showed off. I was super impressed with them, but Omaha are the ones who got it done. Now we are about to watch the Brainerd victory versus the Atlas, coming right up in just a minute or two. And then later on in the day, we got St. Cloud Flowers and the Duluth Superiors, who are the 1 seed. And ignore that bottom game right there. That is going to be off stream, but that one will be playing as well. Stewie's saying in I'm hearing it in. He's gonna win it. I'm hearing it in. But yeah, we got some more exciting Rocket League for you. I guess we can just hop straight into a prediction. Cole, are you feeling one way or another?
Not necessarily. All I know is this Mankato team is, or at least Atlas, is very, very new to me. I know Fluffy was recently on Omaha for the majority of the start of the season, and he did really, really well. So I don't really know what to think so far as that team, but I was on this Brainerd Victory team myself before moving down to Challenger. I moved across the country and can no longer play on Saturdays. So I know this team is good. I feel like they haven't really been able to find their footing yet. So I'm really just excited for a close series. Hopefully we get as many games as possible, some really good games to watch. And yeah, I'm just ready for some good Rocket League, honestly.
That's so valid. I am currently on the Rising Star team for the Brainerd Victory, so I am definitely voting for the Brainerd. But I will say, these are some faces I've not really seen. I know Fluffy, but the other two I'm not familiar with their game, so I'm gonna give them a game. I'll say in 4. I know before the stream I said it was gonna be 3-0 easy GG, but I like to give people games because it's Rocket League. It's chaotic. You never know what's going to happen. Sweeps are difficult. They're far and few between. But Messiah trying to prove me wrong here, trying to get it down to the center here. Bryant gonna have a chance to take control here. Pops in mid. Woltaz actually does a great job shutting it down, but once again, Bryant just trying his best to get the ball off of Nate. Maybe taking a shot here, but it's gonna be Messiah for the shot. And now over mine is Bryant. All the 3 players getting active on the offense here. Finally, the Atlas get a way out of their half.
Yeah, this is a really good start for Brainerd right off the bat. I mean, they essentially got the ball in Mankato's half, and they were not able to get it out. Or sorry, it's Winnipeg now, right? I keep saying Mankato.
Yeah, it's Winnipeg.
Yeah, I keep saying Mankato. I'm such a boomer in the league, but a really good 40-second start from Brainerd. They just held the zone the entire time, and it took essentially 1 corner boost grab for Winnipeg to be able to get it out, but really good start from Brainerd.
Maybe Fluffy has a bit of a chance here. Nate saving the day with a bit of a read. Has to pre-jump this one too. Gets a nice touch over the wall. No teammate there to meet him though. Woltez does go missing. Nate has a chance here, dribbling it out to Messiah. Messiah who's running ahead for a bump. Bryant maybe getting a bit of a chance here to go and can play the ball. He just double jump. Actually sends it over to Nate. Nate just barely off the mark. Can't quite get that one on target. Messiah taking a shot here. Does seem like the Atlas defense is holding strong, though. No real chances. I mean, for how long the Victor had been on offense here, they've only accumulated 1 shot, and that was just now, in 2 minutes in the gameplay, which is really shocking, considering I feel like they've been here the entire time.
Yeah, they've had a really good start to the game offensively. It seems like they're really, really comfortable and potentially even exposing the newness of this Winnipeg team, but it feels like they just... Being middle of the pack, you feel like maybe they've never really figured out how they wanted to play, and this might potentially be a series where they really figure it out, and going into the major, that would be super, super helpful.
Yeah, this is pretty much the last chance to figure out play styles. I mean, I know we still have that break in between, the major and then LAN, but you basically got to figure it out right now. That's a bit of an awkward touch. Nate maybe has a bit of a chance here, looking for a team pinch with Bryant. Crud gets a free chance to take a shot. Messiah easily clears away, but it's right on top of an opponent's hood. It's a bit of an awkward clear from Bryant. In the Atlas are the first one to score. Gray. I think it's Gray. Gray. I'm gonna say Gray. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but he does find the bottom left corner of the net and opening the scoring of the series. It did not seem like they were going to be the first ones to score, considering the Victory have had all the pressure, but they come out on top with the first goal.
Yeah, just an unfortunate touch by Messiah there. You honestly, you get in some Rocket League games sometimes where you feel like you have all the pressure and it just takes one good opportunity by the opposing team and they score on you, even though you felt like you've had the game in your grasp the entire time. So, I feel like it's a pretty mixed bag on like who ends up coming out of these types of games, but I know it's really demoralizing just absolutely peppering a team and not getting that first goal, but Nate responds immediately.
Yeah, finally Nate just sends one in, and yeah, he couldn't quite get the hand up quick enough. That's the equalizer. Didn't take long either, and Nate's gonna be happy with that one. We have not. I mean, finally, that one was just not even a continued pressure play. It was just a shot off the sidewall. That really should almost never be going in. But Fluffy trying to do the mechanical play of his own. Gray can't quite squeeze that one in. Maybe Fluffy can. Nate gets in the way of it. Messiah just has to put a hand up here. Does actually get a decent clear. Woltz has to put a hand up. Fluffy going off the backboard. Trying not to get pumped by Bryant. Messiah into the sidewall. Such an awkward touch. It's going to find its way all the way down the field. Nate does manage to shut it down before it finds its way to Fluffy. Gray has a chance here off the post. It should have been a goal. Nobody was putting a hand up. That's off the corner. Great bounce. Nate maybe can make something of this. It's off the backboard. Gray does shut it down immediately, and now has a chance of his own. Full boost. Just going to air dribble it out right into Bryant. It's just a floating ball. Fluffy first to respond. It's flying high. No one's up yet. It's a bit of an awkward touch out, and actually a bit of a clear on his own chance. And into the final minute here, no team seems to have a foot forward.
Yeah, and I feel like it goes back to what I was saying at the start of the series, where it just like these two teams, not only are they fairly new, but it's just like it feels like play style stuff that they just need to figure out how to play with each other. Maybe these aren't good comps in general for a team, but they need to figure this stuff out before Major 1, and obviously this is a really good chance to do that, especially on stream. If I believe the first weekend of the Major is Swiss, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Win 3 before you lose 3. Yep, and then single Elim the second weekend, but you get a lot of opportunities to play with your team, and being on stream now will definitely set you up for success in the future, but Brainerd getting one with 20 seconds left is huge.
Yeah, that is we all talking about who could get the foot in the door quicker, and Brainerd, the ones who actually started the series behind, managed to find that Messiah finally shining, finds that goal. Nate trying to get creative on the backboard, does shut down. Great, trying to find an infield pass. Final 10 seconds here. Fluffy trying to find it off the backboard. Sidewall could not quite find the read. Messiah even shuts it down, but Wolves does get it down the field at least. Bryant says absolutely not. They're trying to put it in the dirt. We're on 0 seconds. Fluffy maybe has a chance to keep it up, and Nate says absolutely not. Puts it in the dirt. That's game 1 for Victory.
Yeah, really good by Brainerd to close that one out. But yeah, like I talked about before the series, like I just want to see some good Rocket League. Nice, close Rocket League, whether it's series-wise, goal-wise, throughout the games. And I think we're getting that right away, so I'm excited for what's next.
Yeah, it did seem like it was a lot of back and forth. At the start of the series, it seemed like Victory had that continued pressure for, it seemed like 80% of the game. Atlas got the goal, and right after that, it seemed like they just decided that the pressure wasn't worth it, and were just taking their chances slower, and it seemed to start working. Nate found the goal from literally the midfield, and then Messiah kind of the same deal, just kind of worked it their way up the field slowly and found themselves a goal. I don't know if they just decided that the continued pressure plays weren't working, that their defense was too good, that they weren't starving them, or I don't know what exactly they decided or what started working for them, but they at least found footing and started running.
Yeah, and that was a consistent issue just when I was on this team in general. It always felt like our second man play wasn't exactly where we need it to be. And just like as a first man, making sure that we're giving each other opportunities instead of giving the ball away. Kind of like this, as Fluffy gets one high and puts it in a really dangerous spot, but we just never found that footing as a team, and obviously we're not a team anymore with Messiah taking the roster spot that I was previously in, but it looks like they're kind of struggling with the same things. I just kind of want to see Brainerd figure it out. Like they've had 2 players on their team that have been consistent throughout the season so far, and you feel like they would know how to play with each other really well. It's just dependent on that third, I guess, or maybe those 2 together don't quite fit. But obviously, Winnipeg trying to figure it out as well, and we'll see how the rest of the series goes.
Yeah, I mean, Bryant and Nate teaming together for so long. I mean, they saw it last season even, and from the beginning of this season. That's 2 full seasons basically of teaming together and getting chemistry. And yeah, you got to say, if the chemistry hasn't found its way yet, maybe it'll never will. But hey, they're making it work. They're putting the pieces together, and finally, I mean, last week was 2-0 from them, and they're trying to make it 3 straight games for them. That would be a great momentum boost going into Major 2, in my opinion. But we'll see here. Messiah could not quite see through that smoke screen. Gray taking a big shot, and Bryant just was not positioned well enough to get that save. Gray opening the scoring again. I mean, last game we saw Gray sniping the bottom left corner, and this time he's finding just a open net basically. Bryant out of position, and that's going to be 1 goal to the good, and that's a lead that it just hurts to give up so. It seems like freely. It really seems like they struggled too much to get that goal. Nate does just go missing here, but 3 minutes left. Lots of time left for the victory here.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit Winnipeg at all, but both of the goals that Brainerd has let in have felt more like miscommunications on defense more than being outplayed by Winnipeg itself. And like I said, just being able to figure that out as a team, especially right before the major, is really, really huge. And it's something you need to get down right away as a close one hits the crossbar from Nate. But it looks like it's always extended pressure for this Brainerd team. And then all of a sudden they get stuck on defense for more than 10 seconds and it comes down to a miscue that just doesn't go their way.
This is a bit of a chance here. It was a 3-player passing play from Brainerd. Trying to find the back of the net now. Bryant just goes missing. Nate has to maybe put on the pressure again. It's just in the corner, but Gray easily able to shut it down. Full boost into the midfield. Fluffy up. 4 players up. Woltz is going to be last here. Messiah does, get a decent 50. He goes, finds his way over to Nate. Nate flick over one. Open net for Bryant. Oh, my wonder save. How did that not go in? It was an absolute, it seemed like a 100% of the time that's a going in. And somehow an absolute incredible save keeps that out. Nate has to try to find this one out. Now Fluffy gets up there for a 50. Bryant trying to slow the play down. Takes one touch out mid. Woltz is ready for it. Now Gray to the sidewall. Back to Messiah, just shuts it down super quickly. Nate up so fast, trying to get one more touch into the midfield. It's spiking down. Wolf shuts it down. It's just all back and forth, and it's just, they need to score a goal. The victory have been so close for so long, but they just have not had a solid chance. This time again, Brian shoots, but Wolf is back again. Messiah shoots, finally! Shot after shot, Messiah finally finds the back of the net, and it seemed like so long. I mean, Wolves is suddenly putting up it's such an amazing defense, and it really just did not seem like there was ever going to be a goal, but finally, they sneak one in.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with just playing defense on extended pressure and bending and bending and not breaking, but, it's the difference between continuing to bend and eventually breaking that really punishes a team in the end. And obviously Winnipeg's done a really good job of continuing to bend. Obviously they lost the first game 2-1, but only letting in 2 goals after there's a wide open net. You see who challenged this. Just Bryant back alone. All of that Brainerd team pushed up and just kind of had to throw his car at it to see if he could get in the way. And Winnipeg just takes the lead, just like that.
Yeah, you can visibly see the tilt from people's car right there. That has to be a tilter, Bryant had to get up all alone last back and just couldn't quite. The ball just bounces in. But still have a chance here. Only 1 goal with 1 minute left. Nate maybe has a bit of a chance to shut this down. Gray shuts it and just throws it into the corner. Bryant trying to start something here. Gray just says absolutely none of it. Just find his way to Nate's hood, but Nate has no boost. Just have to take a decent or an awkward 50. Messiah!
Oh, beautiful.
Just can't put a hand up, and Gray for the hat trick slots it in. Gray doing all the work offensively this series and puts in another one for a 3-1 lead. Victory, need to find answers.
Yeah, that was just textbook pressure from Gray. He made his play on offense, got a good pass opportunity. His teammates weren't quite ready, but Volta's just came in slowly after, won his challenge, and Gray just taking the corner boost and turning back in just made it such an easy shot, and Winnipeg's just running away with the game with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. Still lots of time. Messiah has full boost. It was a great pass, but that touch is just going to go into midfield and kind of just a nothing touch, unfortunately. And Gray now has another chance to shoot. Bryant has to, just give this one away. And the time is ticking down. You need 2 goals. You're stuck on your half. It's becoming impossible. It is. And that is game 2. Atlas finding their way into this series. It just took Gray 800 points to do it, but 800 points he got in an excellent series from the Atlas, or at least an excellent game from Atlas. This is, looking a lot like last game, or last series to me, where it was a hot start from one team, and then the other team came back and won a series. I want to see where it goes now. Write a new story. Come on, Stewie. I thought we paid for more than one script, right? Oh my, what's going on?
Stewie says he's got something up his sleeve, but I'm appreciating the way these two teams are playing right now. Obviously, it's not the flashiest thing in the world to be stuck on defense if you're the Atlas for an extended period of time, but I enjoy the dig it out type of defensive games. Just hold your ground, don't break, just bend, and take the transition plays when you have them and score off of that. Like, maybe there's nothing pretty about it, but if it gets the job done, there's nothing wrong with it. And we got a tied series now going into game 3, and I'm just excited to see what's next.
Yeah, the thing I'm really confused about is it did seem like the Atlas were on defense the entire game. But they only had one less shot. It was 9 to 10 shots. How? It just seems like Victory, even though they have so much extended pressure, they aren't getting chances on net, like, ever, I feel like. I mean, 10 shots is a lot of shots. But throughout the whole game, if we had to see the actual stats of that, I feel like they had probably 70% of pressure of field control, and it just never felt like they were getting good chances on that. I mean, even this one, Messiah does get maybe there's a chance. Nate down to Bryant, but it just shut down so quickly that it just doesn't even seem like an attack.
Yeah, I actually wonder, I mean, Messiah was playing pretty physical at the start of the first game in the series, but never really continued with it. I'm wondering, just with how solid Winnipeg has been on defense, you feel like maybe you just got to start taking out a player here and there and trying to put pressure on more guys individually if you're Brainerd, and kind of making your offense that way, because you continue to hold the zone over and over, but if you're allowing the opposing team all the time and space in the world, and if they're playing smart enough, they're going to get to that spot at the same time or make the save when they have it. So becoming more physical and opening up that space that way could be very, very beneficial, as we see an open net. Waltus gets back to it, and Bryant misses. I don't know if the fake on the goal line or just diving at the ball kind of messed with Bryant's perception of that play, but I would want to see Brainerd just get physical and try and put some pressure on Winnipeg outside of just holding the zone.
Yeah, that is actually an excellent point, getting physical, and it just always helps teams break through defensive teams. I mean, the only thing you can do about it is dodging a bump, like by jumping, and if you jump, you can't really defend too much more than just where your car is. Bryant trying to break through the offense or the defensive wall here, just a weird sidewall, easily shut down again. There's no second man on the attack, and now 2 players are committing. It's Nate and Messiah again double committing. It's been a common theme this series. Nate throws it up to Bryant. Bryant gets one touch, but it's kind of just in nothing land. Waltaz just clears it out. Fluffy trying to start the attack up again. It's going to be a heavy touch. It's going to be in the top right corner. Just barely bounces out. Messiah gets an awkward touch. Waltaz really could not get much more of a shot than that. Messiah does a good job to save it away. It's going to be up into the corner. Shut down again. Nate just decided to play slow here, save his boost. Bryant, one touch over to the wall. Nate to collect. Just tries faking him out, but he just plays the ball. He doesn't care. Messiah going up. Maybe would have a chance here of his own. Fluffy does shut it down, but it just finds its way back to the hands of Bryant. Bryant to the backboard. It's so awkward. It may be in the hands of Nate. Nate can't quite do anything with that either. Messiah just opts for a pinch. It's going to get loose, though, and Woltaz happily just to get all over. I mean, Woltaz, I would not talk too much about this man, but a new player in my eyes, has been just so defensive. He's so willing to just put his body in front of the goal. Once again, here we go, just diving on the ball again. He just doesn't care what you're going to do with the ball. He's playing the ball each and every time. That's so difficult to do. Gray trying to make something of nothing. Messiah just has to dribble it out. Now it's Brian's turn. It's the backboard. Final 2 minutes of the game here. Still 0-0.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point on Walters. Obviously, I haven't seen him around much either. I see him as a much newer player to the league as well, and I've been really pleasant with just how Winnipeg plays. Like, they have a very defensive player in Waltis, and Gray has been really good at making the offense, especially last game, having over 800 points, 3 goals, 3 saves, kind of doing it all. And then Fluffy just filling in and being the glue of the team. It's exciting to see. Just obviously Winnipeg didn't really have a premier roster for the entire season, and now they have one, and just seeing them play well and kind of have an established play style right off the bat is really exciting, just for that franchise and for the league in general, to just have another competitive team in the scene.
Yeah, it's been an empty roster for just like a free win, everyone would say, because it's just literally had no team. And now, just a last-second team, really, and they started off. I don't know if Nate finally finding the goal. I don't want to talk anymore about, the Atlas win the victory, what's scoring. Nate, it's an excellent 50 by Brian, just throws it up, and Gray maybe jumped a little bit too soon. It was a pretty slow shot. It should have maybe been saved, but, that's the goals that they're happy with taking. It's a 1-goal game now. Could be golden goal territory. Bryant maybe gets a chance here to solo play of his own. Flies it high. Boltaz does find himself a bump. Gray's just trying to shut it down, maybe find the attack. Messiah to the backboard, looking for the double. Does find the backboard again. Bryant diving on it. Nate, his last man, gets a critical touch to the backboard. Fluffy maybe started the attack. Gray to the top left corner. Messiah turned up too soon.
And it's a perfectly executed transitional play, and that's what I've been talking about all series, is Winnipeg just has to hold on their defense, and whenever they get in transition, something good seems to happen every single time. And you kind of just feel for Brainerd on if they're ever going to figure it out. Like, the same thing is happening to you every single time. Do something about it. These are fantastic players. I know their minds are in the right place when it comes to figuring out how to play against another team. But at the end of the day, I'm just excited to see really close, good Rocket League, a nice close series. And just excited to be here with you, Zoms. I haven't casted in so long, and I'm ready for an overtime here.
Yeah, looking like it. They might have one more chance here. Wolves is actually opting to put it down, but Nate has none of it. He keeps it up. No boost even. Fluffy. Maybe an awkward touch. Brian might have a chance here. Fluffy does manage to put it in the dirt. Thought that might have gotten away from Fluffy for just a moment, and Brian was going to snipe that, but not quite. We do have overtime here. Bryant is going to be the first, he's going to have the first chance of overtime here. He's taking it high. Really awkward position to air dribble from. He's going to find it past almost the entire of the Atlas squad here. The last player on the goal line does manage to get a crucial save, but that's 2 players that committed. Nate had a massive dunk. It's such an awkward ball. Can Messiah just shoot that? He finds out the post. Someone needs to put it home. Brian goes missing, I think, and Nate, it's just too awkward to take the shot. He wasn't expecting that just to go across the goal with no competition. A massive double from Nate, though. Bryant is up to the 1v1. Fluffy has no boost. It's to the backboard. It's a double. It's in. Bryant being the hero that the Atlas, or the victory needed. Atlas are shaking in their boots. He couldn't even jump. No boost. He did jump. He tried putting a hand up, but it was just too good.
Yeah, perfectly executed by Brainerd to finish it off. Bryant just sitting behind that main line, going for the air dribble when Winnipeg really was just sucked out of boost right from the start of the kickoff. And, that's all it takes sometimes in overtime in Rocket League, is just an unfortunate start to overtime off of the bad kickoff, and Brainerd makes the most of it, taking the series to 2-1. And I'm excited for Game 4, Zoms. Who do you think's going to pull this one out?
My prediction said 3-1. We're on track. We are on track. I'm just going to stick to my guns. I have to, go with the victor here. All right. They did manage to, find their way through defense this time, and there was a couple double commits from the Atlas in that overtime right there that really costed them. I thought that should have been over a little bit sooner, but they managed to hold on, and here we are. We're going into Game 4, and I feel like the victory have a bit of momentum now.
Yeah, that's huge to get that overtime goal, especially on stream. You know, I mean, nerves can play definitely a little bit more of a factor on a stream match than they do in a regular one. At least they do for me a tiny bit. I wouldn't say necessarily I get too nervous for games in general, but there are bigger stakes. Like, you're on stream, you got people talking about you, people watching actively in the chat, and you just want to perform, you want to play well, and it just comes down to being solid as a team and having confidence in yourself. So game 4 here now, starting up. I'd kind of be looking for both teams to be playing the same that they have the entire time. I don't think there's really a way to change what you're doing, especially if you're Brainerd being up in the series, and if you're Winnipeg, you have to feel good about always being in tight games with this team. So obviously they need to figure something out a little bit quicker, but they got 4.5 minutes to do it.
Yeah, we're 20 seconds into this game. We got 5 saves already out. That was an insane sequence from both sides. And it just seems like this is going to be no midfield play. Everything's going to be on the goal line. And, I mean, excellent defense to start from both sides. And, I mean, we're trying to get started here. Shut down immediately. Bryant into the corner here. Just trying to find some offense. It's a bit of a loose ball. Fluffy happy just to take a touch here. Going to be tough to work with, though. Messiah trying to get a piece of that. Could not quite. Gray outplays him. Fluffy is running interference. One thing I will say that worked last game that we haven't seen much of was Nate was going for some demos. You know, I wasn't expecting Nate to be the one to go and demo, but when he did, it opened up so much space, and I think that immediately led to at least an extremely solid chance. One of the chances I felt like they could have scored in, and I feel like the demos just ensued panic, and panic led to the eventual goal in overtime. And I mean, I was really expecting it to be Messiah to be the one to go for all the demos, but I mean, Nate is plenty capable of, you know, running in and running interference as well, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this Brainerd team comes down to the 2 players outside of Bryant. And that's not saying that, like, Bryant is so much better than everybody else, but Bryant plays the way Bryant does. He's super defensive, and it's kind of up to those 2 front guys to create plays in front of him. And if you're going for demos and creating space and not allowing the team on the other side to, you know, rotate perfectly every single time and be in position when they need to be in position, then ensues chaos and goals come out of it. And when you have a solid defensive player who likes to play that position and Brian on the back end, it can create a great recipe for success. And we've seen that the 2 games that they've won so far. So let's just see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, I think they are going to. Halfway through this game, you know, I've not been seeing, you know, many insane chances since the first minute. Nate's just trying to shut this one down, maybe looking for a pass. Bryant just kind of gives it away to Fluffy. Big demo for Messiah, though, to just immediately shut that down. High flying ball, maybe a bit of a chance. Gray does manage to get a piece of that. That was actually a really good shot from Messiah, but just could not quite go in. Messiah just trying to, you know, lead this one into the back corner here. Clears out the ball. Fluffy does take a touch to the wall. Woltez is going to be there to beat him. Bit of a heavy touch, but it's going to be all right. Bryant's going to pass it over to Messiah. Messiah, can you cook up something? He's just going to leave the ball for Nate. Nate does get beat by Gray. Bryant is left all alone. He's just going to take a 50. It's going to be a little bit dangerous in the midfield. Messiah cuts it down early. Awkward ball in the corner, though. And it's just going to end up with a 50 out into mid. Nate's trying to shut it down, but I mean, there's really no, you know, route to attack, and just leads all the way back to Bryant on defense, who once again is getting save after save after save. Each player is racking up so many saves right now. It just seems like the entire game is being played on each, like, other player's goal line. I mean, it seems like there's almost no midfield play. It's either the blue goal or the orange goal.
Literally, I mean, that's exactly what I've been seeing as well, Zoms. And honestly, I kind of like it. Like, I like seeing the saves. I like seeing a lot of goal opportunities, and as long as those saves are coming out, I find it to be actually really entertaining just to see players position really well and work well as a team as far as saving the ball and keeping contained pressure. And obviously we have a close series so far, so I mean, I think it's a perfect recipe for a nice series, not only to watch but also to play in as a player. And I just want to see Winnipeg get more physical. Like, Brainerd's been so solid defensively so far, especially in this game. I saw one transition play where Winnipeg went out for a bump on the goal line, and Brian ended up being awkward on the back end. So if you can continue to find good scoring opportunities like that, I think it's a recipe for success in the future.
That was almost a massive outplay with a fake. Nate trying to by the backboard here. Woltez ready this time. They can see the last time by the backboard. This time he's covering it extra. And oh my, that's a really awkward save. Brian's going to find the back of the net. One bad touch gets punished. You give up an inch, the Victory are going to take a mile. Gray should have left that one, and they concede because of it. Now it's looking at golden goal or territory. That one goal might be the dagger, and Atlas have to find one. They have to do what they haven't been able to do for the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds of this game. They have to break through the defensive blue or the orange wall, and they don't have much more time left to do it. They got 20 seconds here. They have to break through now.
Yeah, and like you said, not a lot of time to do it, but I'm going to let you take this away, Zoms. You're much better at the solo casting than me, so let's give it to him.
I got 10 seconds left. It's going to be flying in. Brian almost just lets that one, go in. Nate almost faked out his teammate's going to be off the corner. Fluffy has a chance here. Nate holds stoically in. That's into the corner. Just barely. The chance goes by. Victory take the series in 4, but it was a close one. 4 saves from Bryant, 4 saves from Nate. I mean, just how many saves? It was a wall on both sides of the field. I mean, they just couldn't break through in the last seconds. I really did think I thought they sold. I thought it was going to be GG's, and maybe find ourselves in an overtime out of nowhere, but the Atlas just could not quite find the back of the net. Victory held strong and took the game home.
Yeah, I mean, talk about an exciting ending. I mean, that's about as close as it can get before ball touches the ground and the series ends. But hey, let's talk about that Zoms ball knowledge, huh? 3-1 perfect prediction with his own franchise. I love to see it.
Back to back. Last series as well. That's all I'm saying.
Keep him on the desk.
Gotta respect the Zoms ball knowledge. But no, seriously, this Victory team is showing up. 3-0 going in. I mean, that secures. They couldn't get up to the 8th seed because there was 10-point difference. But this does at the very least secure their 9th seed place. So they're going to be playing that 8th seed no matter what, whoever it turns out to be. And that's at least exciting. You know who you're going to be playing. You're going to be playing the 8th seed. So 8th seed, 9th seed going to major, basically the same thing. So I mean, this is about as close as you can get.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good spot to be in going into the major. Obviously, you want to be as close as you can be to that top 8 spot in the first place. Obviously, top 8 make LAN. So giving yourself as good of a potential spot towards making LAN is super, super important, and being really close to that top 8 is really, really nice. So now it just comes down to performing in the major and doing really well, and hopefully we'll see these guys at LAN.
Yeah, it wouldn't be LAN without Bryant Berger there. It would be so sad. But we'll try our best. They're going to try their best through Swiss and hopefully get into the bracket to make it to LAN. But we'll just take one more look at the schedule, and then we'll send it on break here. That we just concluded our Victory series here. Looking forward, just a moment here. We're going to have the Blue Superiors and the Flyers. Stay tuned. That'll be coming right up.
Welcome everybody back to some more MCS action. I'm Clash, joined by Ari, and we got a banger of a matchup here in Premier. Flyers versus Superiors, currently the number 1 versus 4 seed in Premier. I'm so excited. So, oh man, Ari, what are you thinking about this matchup?
I think this is really important for major implications. There's only a 10-point gap right now between 1st and 4th seed. If St. Cloud take a game here, then they could potentially tie 3rd and 2nd. And since Major 2 has 10-point gaps in between each tier, so if you get 4th compared to top 8, that's a 10-point gap that you have over that your competition, which is really, really helpful. And if they're able to tie it up, that means that their odds, it means that it's tighter contention, and also they separate themselves from the bottom of the pack. And if you're the 1st place seed, you just want to get as many points as possible for this major. Really, really close for all these teams right now. So, yeah, it's really, really important match.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking back at the schedule that we've gone through so far today in Premier, we just watched Brainerd Victory take down Winnipeg Atlas. Based on standings expected, but they had a new roster in Winnipeg, so that was a tough matchup. Brainerd having to fight through that one, and then we got and then Omaha beating Green Bay earlier as well. It was been a good day, but I think this one's gonna be the biggest banger of them all because we got such good ones. Ari, who are you taking in this one?
Let me go to my rosters real quick. I think that, I mean, obviously Duluth is in 1st place, but between Duluth and St. Cloud, I don't know. I think I'm going to just be biased towards St. Cloud because I know those players more than the people on Duluth. But Duluth are 1st for a reason, but I kind of want to go with the underdogs. I think we might have a game 5 here, though. Would not be surprised. So probably Flyers in 5.
Yeah, I really don't want to predict against Duluth because they are in 1st place. They've proven so much. And it's way more exciting when we predict in opposite directions. But I also really like this Flyers squad. I think both are so good. And the recency bias, I think Flyers lost last week, and it's been a while for Superiors, as Calster's almost putting one away for the Flyers there. But I think I'm also going to take the Flyers here, also in 5. No matter what, this should be a great series. I'm really hoping to see Game 5 here because, yeah, these two rosters this should be such a good matchup. Oh, this one could be going through. Wesley starting off the scoring.
Yeah, Wesley already starting it off, and I mean, yeah, I Superiors as well. It's not as if I can tell why they're 1st with this roster. Wesley, Forbes, and Sean. That seems just like knowing how their play styles and the way that they match up. It's a very well cohesive team, and again, we're seeing that off the rip. They might even have a 2nd goal right away to start it out, but no, is out of that for now. Double tap attempt. It's blocked away by Zodak. Good read. Calster bumped up, maybe some pressure, but Fusion taking his time, gets dunked by Sean. Doesn't really have much moves to follow it up, but neither does Zodak. Zodak, good 50 out, but it lands right to 4th. There's a shot, but it's taken lightly. Fusion has enough time to reach it. Sean now chips it around 1 back to Wesley. Wesley towards 4s, but it's cut out. There's still so much pressure from the Superior side. One player finally goes missing, and that might be the space they need to break out, but no, it's 50 right back into their half.
Yeah, they're really trying to find each other on this offensive half. These 3 have been together. I'm pretty sure it's been the whole season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was
like
the team that was drafted.
First 2 weeks, Wesley, yeah, ever since 1st trade window.
Okay, 1st trade window, Wesley was the one that joined. Gotcha. But either way, yeah, this roster's been together for quite some time. Calster, a little bit newer on the Flyers roster, but they're looking so good as a team, looking for each other in the midfield, trying to keep this pressure up, and they're still in this offensive half. Sean trying to get this one through. Fusion Bleach, great clear from him. Sean trying to get it back middle, works as a fake. Fours up for that one, not going to be able to get that one on target. And finally, with big bump, going to be able to maintain some pressure here. Sean trying to get this one back forward. Not going to be up to much there, as it finally is going to be bouncing out for the Flyers there. They really had to hold on to that.
Touch out to the corner. Finally, we see the ball in the Superior's half for the first time in a while, and they get it right back out to the midfield. Zodak maybe first on this, gets a beat around one. Wesley last back, but he makes a touch. Fusion required to get a challenge in this, but he's demoed. It might be an open opportunity. Calster rushing back in time, just gets there. Another bump. Superiors are so... it seems like you're fighting a Hydra. You have individual plays, you have passing that you have to worry about, you have these bumps as well. Players flying through, stealing your boost. It's so tough, but maybe the counterattack here. Flyers almost got one, but Sean on his back line is able to turn away. Fusion now tries to pass this out. That 50 goes a bit far out, but Zodak is there. Force clear. Trying to leave it for his teammate. Wesley towards net. That's a good shot, but Calster was in net and he was ready for it. And Flyers, time is ticking down. 1.5 minutes left. They have had some life in this game, aside from the start where it was mostly Superiors. That shot just barely over the mark, but it's not out yet for them.
Yeah, shots like that from Superiors are rarely going to go through, but they're going to increase the pressure. If Calster had any sort of bad touch there, that would have been a goal with that kind of pressure going, but he had a perfect touch there. He was able to get the save he needed to and held on. And now Superiors on their end, going to be an infield pass, almost finds its way through. Calster trying to get through again. That one just gets cleared out for Superiors. A much shorter attack, but a dangerous one coming out from the Flyers. Now I want to see a little bit more of that. A little bit more sustained pressure would be great, but if it's that dangerous, it doesn't need to be that sustained. And Wesley trying to turn this on this one, not going to be able to get there in time. Calster not going to be able to press this one forward. Fusion beat here. Just Zodak back. Is he going to be able to get to this one first? Yes, he is. All left for him by the Superiors there, and it's starting to even out here.
Yeah, but I mean, Superiors will be fine with it evening out. Mm-hmm. Only 14 seconds left, and they have pressure right now. Another shot following through. Sean, big 50 in the corner, killing so much time for Flyers. They need to really get this ball on the other side of the field. Wesley goes missing, but Fours is there for it. It might be a shot, and that will be the dagger for game one. Wesley, I think that might have been communicated, the fake to his teammate. It seemed very intentional that he left that, and a good pass upfield and a good shot. Even if the initial fake wasn't intentional, it was still a good adaptation by Superiors, and they're looking strong. I think strong is an understatement. They're looking very dominant to start out this series. So much shots and so much pressure. Flyers had their opportunities, I feel, but maybe a couple missed shots, maybe ones that maybe could have had some better quality. Just weren't. How in the world did they score? Make it 3-0. Why not?
Yeah, barring about a minute of this game where Flyers started looking like they were doing something and kind of evening out this game, yeah, it was definitely a very dominant victory there from the Superiors. Just playing so solid as a team. Like, they were looking for each other infield. It was definitely a fake. If that was not calculated, I would be surprised. It looked really well done. Wesley, he might have jumped with the intention of having it, but as soon as he realized he had a bad angle, he might have called a fake, and it worked out beautifully, because then they were just able to set up that team play. That they're so locked in on this series, and if Flyers don't fix something quick, I'm not sure what. I'm not smart enough to figure out what, but if they don't fix something quick, Superiors are going to be able to run away with this one.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's fine if you don't have as much pressure as the other team, as long as you get the opportunities. Like, you can still definitely, especially since Superiors really only had one goal up until the last 10-12 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
And it's not, Flyers had opportunities. Callister's shot was a bit at the defender. There is another one, I forgot by who, but it was just above the net. If either of those two were just better placed, most likely we see at least a tie game there, and then I don't know what happens from that point. But what is true, though, is that Flyers are still scoreless in this series, and that can go really out of hand really fast for your confidence. So I'm really hoping that they're going to find a goal here in game 2 to start off.
Yeah, and we're always the easiest way to look at it is to look at that first round player. Fusion Bleach, usually they're kind of expected to be a bit of the carry. I want to see a little bit more out of him. Right now it's kind of been pretty even between all of the players. Calster, obviously no slouch, but kind of you would think that third round. Zodak really high second round in the draft, but I want to see a little bit more out of Fusion Bleach. I haven't seen him as much as I'd like on the field here. I feel like it's less on Fusion Bleach and more on Superiors, just suffocating them in their half. This could be a chance here now. Zodak trying to control it back, but teammates just not quite on the same page. That could have been an opportunity, but it was going to have to be really well communicated, and unfortunately it wasn't. Zodak trying to get this one back out. No boost to get back to it, but it works as a fake. Fusion Bleach going to go ahead and leave that one. Double commit coming out. It's coming out from Flyers, and it's not being inflicted by the Superiors anymore.
Yeah, that I think they're trying to up the pace. They're trying to just not hesitate as much, and I understand that against a team like this with so much pressure, there's fusion off the backboard again. And yeah, I think that some unforced errors is not what you need, but so far it's still 0-0. They can maybe recuperate. There's another shot, fusion off the backboard again with that save. Wesley leaves it for Sean. That's dangerous out in the middle. Wesley's first on this double tap. Doesn't find his way. Fakes it for his teammate. That's going to fall its way through. All three Flyers players on their defensive line completely lost, having no idea who's hitting the ball, who's not, and ends up in the back of the net off of really good communication.
Yeah, three-man passing play that come out there. And yeah, again, it was definitely a fake there. Wesley could have gone for that ball. He might have even been able to hit it, but there was no point. He knew that all he had to do was make it look like he could hit that, and he's going to get this one away. Superiors are really rolling. They're playing so well as a team, and I don't know how the Flyers are going to be able to stop him here.
Yeah, this is a... They got off to a hot start, Flyers did. Couple shots, a lot of pressure, unforced errors, kind of evened out, and then Superiors just took over. 2 quick goals, and now all of a sudden, Flyers are fighting for their lives in this series. You don't want to have to try to reverse sweep the #1 seed. Not a good situation to be in, but still, they're not out of it yet. Over half the game left, but more Superiors attack comes through. Fours off the backboard, double tap, and puts it home. Absolutely devastating right now for the Flyers.
That's what you get when you give Fours space. They really tried not to give him space, but Zodak wasn't able to get the challenge off. He was 0 boost. Fusion Bleach wasn't able to get the challenge off. He was 0 boost. And Fours every time there, off the backboard, getting that double through. That was a beauty. And yeah, Superior's just looking so dang solid. I feel like after this series, we're both going to get messages from Wesley in general chat saying like just how dare we predict against them, because right now we're looking silly for having any doubt.
I was his GM. He's gonna really narc on me for that, I bet.
For any doubt against this team right now is crazy, because they look unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just you gotta predict the law of averages, and sometimes the low percentage will happen. I thought it was one of those days.
I don't think it was even a low percentage.
I mean, maybe it's still flip reset's not there. Maybe it still is. We don't know. There's still time left in this game. But it's tough to say that. Sometimes you predict a reverse sweep or a team coming back. Usually they are keeping up pressure-wise with the other team. Usually it's pretty close games, multiple overtimes, multiple one-goal games. But last game, Flyers were keeping their head in the race. Just weren't able to execute on their counterattacks, and Superiors just have so much more pressure than Flyers right now. It is so tough for them to get out and do anything. It's so tough for them to even keep the ball out of their own net. 0-4 in this game, and Wesley puts another one away.
Love this play from Sean. That fake to get a more favorable 50 on the goal line. He has to hit that there, but he can't. If he hits it earlier, he's going to get dunked out. Sean, super patient with it there. Able to 50 it straight to Wesley, and Wesley, great positioning from him. If he's not exactly where he is, he's not putting that one away. And it's just so well executed right now from the Superiors. They look unstoppable. And Man, I wish I had suggestions for the Flyers, but I have no idea because Superiors are just playing so solid. Maybe I want to say earlier challenges from the Flyers, but I've seen them early challenge a few times and it hasn't gone well for the Flyers. It almost has resulted in more space for the Superiors. So I really am not sure what the solution is here for the Flyers, but they have to figure out something because right now it's so one-sided.
Yeah, and it has to be something talked about in between games because it's not really anything super small or a super quick fix. It has to be a just you need to kind of just take a break and use that full minute, I feel, to kind of reassess and come back stronger because the start of this game they looked strong and they were again keeping pace for most of game one. They were keeping their head in the race, but this game has not been it, and you don't have any lives anymore. You need to reverse sweep this team. You need to figure out how to sweep this team. You've gotten a gauge on how they play. 2 full games, and still they have not scored, I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, it was 0-3 in game 1 and 0-4 in game 2. So you need to take that lid off the net, get your head back in the series and just hope that. And then if you're on the side of Superiors, I mean, just business as usual. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they just have to keep linking up as a team because, yeah, they looked so good. Somehow they weren't all assisted. I don't remember who scored one that wasn't assisted, but either way, it feels like every single play, these Superiors players are linking up, looking solid, and man, I don't know what Superiors are doing so much better than the Flyers, but they are looking just so much better than the Flyers. I feel like they're just playing more as a team. Flyers, I've seen them double commit a few times. We saw earlier a big double commit from them. And just, I guess they're not linking up nearly as well as the Superiors are. Superiors are playing for each other, finding each other in those midfield, in the offense, on defense, anything. They're playing so solid as a full 3-man team.
Yeah. It's Superiors when they're on form, really, really tough team. I mean, really showing why they are the number 1 seed. And, you know, I predicted Flyers in 5, so at least it wasn't like, oh, they're going to sweep Superiors or anything like that. But, the fact that I didn't even get the series, if this doesn't even go to game 4, I might have to consider reassessing my ball knowledge because this is complete. I mean, Superiors are just completely dominating. Hopefully, we see more out of Flyers in this series. Starting off, though, Superiors are on the offense as usual.
Yeah, offense as usual. Wesley, trying to get that guy out of here. He's been doing a lot for this squad. All of them have, but Wesley has scored a lot of the goals. I can't remember exactly how many, but he scored at least a couple in the last one. I remember he scored at least one in the first game.
Or that 0-second goal.
Yeah, kind of all over the field. Sean gets bumped out there. That could be a play here. Zodak trying to get this one through. Almost finds it. Wesley trying to get it clear here. Calster taking it over for the Flyers. And that's going to be a very fascinating touch. This could be dangerous. Ooh. 50 coming out. Sean going to try to get another one off the sidewall. He tried something real fancy there. Fours not going to be able to get this one forward. Wesley just trying to maintain any pressure that they still got. But Calster finally going to collect in that Flyers half. And this one kind of fizzles out in the midfield.
Zodak given some space with this ball. Can't get it over Forzo, but it drops right back down to Callister. His attack goes off the ceiling, gets the touch around Wesley, just the crossbar to beat, and it goes high again. It's just so unfortunate for Flyers. They just can't get anything to go their way right now. It's still offense. Offensive pressure fusion off this corner, goes to the ceiling, but Sean's there to meet him on the backboard. Stays in front of that. Zodak gets the beat fours, has the boost. Good control, good musty McAllister. Good patience on the backboard. Actually gets this ball double tapped, goes wide. Nobody really there to meet it. Lear is denied, and finally there's some really good solid Flyers pressure right now, but can anything come of it?
We'll have to see, because they're going to need something here. I feel like if they can't score on one of these offensive pressures here very soon, don't see much of a way that things can happen. This one's could be a chance. Finally,
There it is.
Flyers get their first goal, and it's an important one when their life is on the line. Calster getting this one away.
Good. Just good from Fusion to keep the ball as close to his car as he could there. Even with low boost, manages to have really good control, force awkwardness out of the defender who was hoping that maybe he'd throw it away. But able just to force it through and trust from his teammate to be there. Now they might actually get a second one. Fusion, it's a flick attempt, almost got it over two, but not to be. Calster, though, right back into the orange half. Not much coming from it, though. They're starting, I realize they're starting to pounce on these clears a lot earlier. They're not letting Superiors have free balls in their own half, and it's keeping the ball in their own half. They're taking 50s, they're getting dunks, they're getting in the way, they're ready for if it does get cleared, they're more prepared for it. And it's been working so far, but they gotta hold their own back line, and they do so far, but there's another shot, and that one will find its way through.
Yeah, Zodak just running to that near post, expecting a quick shot, but smart play by Forrest. Kind of slows his own car down, shoots it far side. Zodak not able to reach that in time, and tied game. Flyers really didn't want to see that. They wanted to maintain that lead because, again, Superiors have been looking better all series. It's going to be much harder for Flyers to find these goals than it is going to be for Superiors, but Calster wants to shut me up. Not quite able to land the double tap. Sean now going the other way. Calster trying to get a 50. Zodak able to get the clear. This could still be pressure, though. Big clear from Zodak there. If that got past him, that could have been dangerous, but not to be, as Sean now up in the air. Wesley up in the air as well. That would have been crazy if they figured out a way to pinch that one, but again, not quite finding its way through. Wesley is able to beat that last line. Fusion Bleach. Gonna just get a one-touch clear here. This could still be dangerous. Demo coming out from fours. Big clear again from Zodak. Zodak has had some great defensive plays here.
Yeah, and I was just surprised that they had that much space to be able to get that team playoff so cleanly in the air. Fusion being consumed by over to Zodak. Gets it past the last defender, but it's saved by the post. It bounces wide. And they really want that second goal to have a bigger cushion in this game. All it takes is one moment of chance, one moment of glory for Superiors, and they have a tied game. Overtime's the last thing you want right now if you are the Flyers, but 1 minute left. They still have some more pressure. Looking to widen this lead. It's over to Callister, but he gets blocked away.
Flyers actually trying to maintain some pressure here, and they're doing a good job at it, but finally getting out of the midfield here. Suddenly a Superior's attack, but now coming back the other way again. Zodak trying to push this one forward, getting net at the goal line, basically, of the Superiors. This one's really going back and forth here, as Superiors now back on the offensive side. Fours getting this one middle. Fusion Bleach just going for control touch. I love that, the poise. He could have been worried about a bump, but he knew that he was in a position that they shouldn't commit for a bump there. Zodak pushing this one forward. Big dunk coming out from him. Fours getting bumped. No one there, though, to attack, and it probably was going to be a crazy difficult shot. It was above the goal still, but here we go. Flyers trying to keep this one forward. 5 seconds left in this one. This one's going to go out to the midfield. Zodak up for the Wesley out to the midfield. This could be an attack the other way. Fours on target. It's through.
No. Oh, no.
Take down the series with a 0-second goal as Flyers were really trying to push there.
Oh, no. That's just... I mean, if he doesn't place that top shelf, he... Surely Fusion gets to any other shot besides that. That's just an amazing shot from Force from all the way on the other side of the field. Places it perfectly in the top of the net. Nothing you can really do there if you're Fusion. I mean, he was trying his damnedest to get back as fast as he could, but just not enough. Flyers had their opportunities in that game to take that lead. Just weren't able to find it. Superiors at the last second, like you said, were able to find one through, and man, what a series that was. Even though it was a sweep, very, very entertaining.
Yeah, Superior's just showing off there. They played so well. Wesley, I'm ready for the ping in an hour after you watch this one back, but they just looked so good, so dominant. As we go into this Major 2, look out for the Superiors. If you're matching up against them, that is unfortunate. They are looking so good. I'm not going to say they're unbeatable. We saw Flyers finding some offense there, finding some opportunities, but just this tiniest slip up, and Superiors were able to take this one down relatively comfortably. They looked so good in games 1 and 2. Game 3 was much closer, but they took it down and they found those opportunities.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're so confident in Game 3 when it's tied like that you're going for freestyle ceiling pinches and fakes into a ground pinch, and you have that level of confidence and it's working, it's creating genuine opportunities and genuine pressure, then that's just a true showing of how dominant their offense is. I mean, from the get-go in Game 1 and 2, and obviously 3, they had most of the control, most of the pressure, and it just seemed like even when Flyers changed their game plan and it seemed more back and forth, it still didn't look like Superiors were out of control of the game. It still looked like they knew what they were doing, confident, and I mean, like I said, there is a reason why they are the first place seed. What this means, though, that 5 points is they have a 10-point lead as of now over Rochester Rhythm, meaning if Rhythm want to take that spot from Duluth, they're going to have to place a whole tier above them in the major. If any of those, or Kansas, since they are tied for points, if Kansas or Rochester want to even tie Duluth, they have to get 1 tier above them. If they want to get first place, they have to finish 2 places over Duluth, which, I mean, unless Duluth fluke out in Swiss, I don't really see that. I don't know. That might be tough. Duluth might have the first seed locked in, but we'll see. Major 2 still has to happen.
Yeah, talking about that Major 2, I mean, points are huge. Everyone talks about that first place position because first place, you have so many points, 61 points going to the winner. That's a huge chunk. The most you can get in league play alone is 75? You play 15 games, so almost an entire league play worth of points coming in just one major if you can get first. Obviously, only one team gets first, so it's not going to be that. It's not as inflated as it sounds, but almost every single tier jump, except for the bottom few when you're in the 14th through 16th, 11th through 12th, that range. Except for in those spots, it's 10-point jumps, as you were mentioning. So every single placement that you get better is going to be a huge jump in the standings. You're going to be able to jump spots. Every team is still in contention, including the bottom teams. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're able to get first, you are in contention for LAN. I'm not going to say it's a guaranteed. It's not as many points as it was last season, but it is very likely. If you are able to win out, you're very likely going to be qualifying for LAN, no matter what position you're in. Obviously, league play still matters a ton. From first to 16th in Premier, we got a 60. It's about to be 65-point jump. So there's some teams that can't even get first place even with a win. But this major is going to matter so much, and it's coming up in the next 2 weeks. Starting next week, finishing out in 2 weeks.
And yeah, we don't. I don't think we have a 4th series tonight. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
That is correct. This was the last one.
Yeah, so we don't have a 4th series tonight, unfortunately, folks. So that is all we have for tonight for the MCS Premier broadcast. I've been Ari with Clash and Stewie in the broadcast. As always, we thank Stewie for running a lot of this. And more recently, some other people like AK, but he's not here right now, so we don't care about him. I'm just kidding, AK. We love you. Everybody have a good night, and see you next week for the major.